let me get this straight. In Descendants 2, the sequel, to which continuing from where the original left off, had the VKs try to find their place in Auradon, then Mal went back to Isle of the Lost because of too much pressure to be perfect, royally perfect. Well, she then came back only to find that Uma, her arch enemy, is in charge now. And that Uma, who was still ticked off about not being selected to come to Auradon with Mal and her friends, came up with a plan to destroy the barrier over the Isle, which we all thought we saw it was broken in the original, and unleash all the villains into Auradon? Oh, big surprise, huh? I would say that is no surprise because I am in shock of what the plot is like for the sequel.
Hello, I'm the awesome nostalgic Pharaoh King, here to check out cool stuff anywhere. We've waited 2 years for this day, the day when it finally comes, the day when it blows everyone's minds, and I have one question about this day. Does Pirates of the Caribbean have a little too much, character development for your certain Shiver Me Timbers pirate movie marathon? Well, don't look no further, because the sequel we've finally been waiting for, called Descendants 2, is here to take your suntan and beach towels and replace it with some swords and eye patches. Yep, that's right. The sequel to the world-shattering flick Descendants has finally arrived. I can't believe I live in a world where the sequel has finally come to us from the skies above. As Dove Cameron did promise, it is bigger and better than the original. That's right, this sequel has blown the original out of the water. I still love it though. The good thing is I'm doing this review. Under whose authority? Disney Channel. The one that started this. I think it's best if this sequel had a lot more comedic, funny ha-has and fun old goofy times and less drama. I know some of you may be questioning the sequel because of the poster's tagline. Long live evil? Why would you put that there? In the original, Mal and the VK sure is to be good, so why bring that line up? I could have fixed some other taglines for ya, like, the VKs are back, or it all comes down to this. I may be hype and all, but I'm ready for action! I mean, come on, who wouldn't want to start Descendants 2 with someone just sitting down for I don't know how many minutes just talking about the whole sequel? I think this calls for a little bit of a drinking game. Yep, bring it in. But enough of this bogus. Let's go GOP on this sucker. This is Descendants 2. So we start off Descendants 2 with someone just dreaming up a sequence with all the ways to be wicked as Mal, EVJ, and Carlos had a cauldron full of spelled apples. They're about to make mischief and knew all too well the many ways to be wicked as the song Ways to be Wicked is playing. I know we're all thinking, this is a pretty good song. I mean, with the students of Auradon Prep eating the apples that make them go all wicked, even Belle, the Beast, and even Fairy Godmother. I mean, come on, if I want to know any better, I would say this is like a good idea or something. I mean, did Mal and the VKs forget how good Auradon looked after they saved it from Maleficent? Okay, I got nothing. I mean, come on. Anything is possible, right? Okay, fine, that's not how it happened. Even though it would arguably blow everyone's minds, that's not how it happened. Here's the story of the sequel actually picks up. Instead of Mal leading all of Auradon into a walk to the court victory march, she finds herself with some news reporters and camera people at a press conference. And you know what else is crazy? Mal's hair is blonde, just like her betrayer, Dove Cameron. Oh my god, her hair is blonde like her betrayer. I think this calls for another shot. Why is everything all spinny? Only 3 days of the royal cotillion, and Mal's gonna be crowned Lady of the Court. She's far from being a perfect Lady of the Court. It was only a matter of time before people could see right through her. But the truth is, Mal's kinda not ready to leave the past behind yet. But hey, we still got Maleficent who's still a lizard, right? Anyway, the VKs are still treated with respect. It could help Mel getting geared up to be Lady of the Court. Lonnie did say she can't wait to see what Mal's wedding will look like. After all, the royal cotillion is like getting engaged, to be engaged, to be engaged. Everyone knows that. Finally, Lonnie says some wedding reference. I think this calls for another shot. Ooh, that's good let down. I think Lonnie and I might want this sequel to have a wedding. And so on. Evie still loves Doug. Chad is still dealing with his breakup with Andre, which we all know in the prequel book, Rise of the Isle of the Lost. And that Andre's portrayer, Sarah Jeffrey, won't be in the sequel. Jay is the captain of the war team, and Lonnie wants to join in. But nah, she's a girl. Even Chad knows that Lonnie will outspar him. Carlos? Oh, I finally knew this would come one day. Carlos doesn't have the guts to ask Jane out to the cotillion. Yes! Yes! After all my times of waiting, this sequel finally gets some Carlos and Jane moments. Yes! 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 What? Can a guy dream of a perfect sequel like this? So Carlos uses a truth dummy that'll make him say what he really feels to Jane. Again, yes. And you know what the unexpected thing had happened? Dude accidentally ate the gummy and he finally actually talks. Would you believe this sequel doesn't have a talking dog? If you did count Scooby-Doo, Astro from the Jetsons, and Doug from Up. What the heck? As for Mal, she had bigger fish to fry. Speaking of that, we cut to the Isle of the Lost at Ursula's fish and chips that sat in a jury raft. You know what that means, folks. Which means that it is about time to play Auradon's Most Wanted! Let's see our selected candidates for this sequel. First off on our list is Harry, the son of Captain Hook from Peter Pan. His father's hand was replaced by a hook when it was taken away by a crocodile that has the sound of a clock. He will stop at nothing to get his revenge on the boy who never grew up, Peter Pan. And he's also scared of the TikTok croc. His son Harry is one swashbuckling young man who is holding a hook in one hand. Occupation, first mate of the crew. The second is Gil, the brawny son of Gaston from good old Beauty and the Beast. If you're talking about the Disney animated one or the live-action remake one. His father tried to get Belle as his wife, and then he was jealous of Belle's love for the Beast and led an angry mob to kill him. His son Gil may have lacked an intelligence quotient he made up in his muscles, but he has some dirty blonde hair from under his cap. Occupation, he's like the muscles and brainless of the group. And last but not least, the gal who started it all, the captain of the Lost Revenge, the daughter of the sea witch Ursula from The Little Mermaid, and portrayed by the cute celeb China Anne McClain, who was on Ant Farm, How to Build a Better Boy, and voiced Freddy from Season 1 of Descendants' Wicked World, Uma. Her mother was a sea witch who was banished and exiled from the far-off sea kingdom of Atlantica. She also gave Ariel a deal to be turned human, all part of her plan to take over the 7 seas. Her daughter Uma was once friends with Mal when they were kids, but a prank they'd been doing went awry as Mal turned her back on Uma, and the folks at the Isle called her Shrimpy. Now that she had gathered her crew, including Harry and Gil, and made herself captain of the Lost Revenge, Uma will stop at nothing to get her revenge on Mal. The fact that she wasn't selected to come to Auradon, and everything else that was standing her and her crew's way. And that's it for this installment of Auradon's Most Wanted. And now our new VKs get a grand prize. They get to do the song What's My Name? Sung by Uma. And that's all you need. You know, Uma, Harry, and Gil. That's all you need. You can just throw these pirates extras into the mix. I mean, we all know Uma worked hard to find the worst of the worst for her crew in the book, until she came across some hooks, muscle, and some pirate extras. This is all you need. All your attention should be on the 3 of them. And yes, this sequel has pirates. If I would have known any better that this sequel was all just building up to pirates and a pirate ship, I bet the ones from Ice Age 4 would have been a better payoff. And you know what else? This whole scene should have had the song It's Never Too Late from that Disney Magic Cruise show Twice Charmed. And did I mention that her mother Ursula is at the kitchen? But enough of that. Cut to Auradon. We see Mal and Ben on another perfect picnic date. Mal is still ramping up the whole princess act for the date and hopes Ben doesn't bite. Much. Have you seen Lady and the Tramp? Their date was doing well, but I don't see Mal and Ben having spaghetti and meatballs, listening to some romantic Italian music, and we're about to kiss because their lips are on one smurfing noodle of a spaghetti. Then it gets really goddamn ticked. I mean, it's true that Ben's been busy being king and Mal was preoccupied with pretending to be his proper lady, but now that Ben discovered Mal's spell book and Mal tries to encounter a spell, things really went down the heck. Oh well, at least Ben is getting mad at something. And Mal, nice move. I understand you went through some pressure during the first whole minutes of this sequel, but did you really have to bring a spell book on your date? So, arguing like some old married couple, Ben and Mal get some lines like this. No, really awkward, no. Someone better get a shot at this. Mal's been really cracked up right now. Oh god, somebody help her! I think this calls for another shot. You made Mal sad! What is wrong with you people? I ask you, what is this world and this sequel coming to? Well, they fizzled that dizzle for shizzle my bizzle, so you can't fault out the sequel for not tying up some loose ends, I guess. You people had just made a dramatic scene that is worth a day. No wonder why they put this sequel on Lifetime. That channel would be full of drama movies. Well, some of them. But seriously, I want this sequel to be more comedic, funny ha-has, and less drama. You could have just scratched out the word drama in the word comedy drama on the drama session and wrote comedy, comedy. How hard could that be? If this sequel doesn't end with some kind of a wedding sequence, I'm going to consider this a cuckoo disappointment. This sequel's a cuckoo disappointment. But you know what? I'm going to call them to prove it. Hello? Internet reviewer here. I was just wondering how... What's that? Oh. Uh-huh. Oh. Well, let me know how it turns out. So it appears Mal went back to the aisle. Who would have thought this would happen one day?